Okay, before I start reading this one again, those type of question that students will start freaking out because you will start thinking as if like, oh no, it's too long, I do not know how to do. Relax, it's gonna be okay. Just chill and slowly go through. I will try to bring some logic to this question. So they mentioned that the figure below is made out of a shaded circle. Why over here? So you cannot really see why because maybe the printing has some error over here, but doesn't matter. So this is the only shaded circle. There's a rectangle A, B, C, D, and then there's a square B, E, G, H. They tell us that AE and DZ. So where's AE? AE over here and DZ are parallel to each other. And then that the Z over here is the center of the circle. Cool. Then they told us that the breadth of the rectangle, which is here, is 1/3 of the entire length. So can we say that this one is 1 unit and this one is 3 unit? So it's always good to jot down the information from the text into the figure to remind yourself of all this information. Now they mentioned that the area of the square BEGH is 144. So if the area of the square is 144, it's very easy to just find the length of the square. So I hope your teacher has taught you. If your teacher has not taught you, then I'm going to teach you right now. Given that the area of this square BEGH is 144, in order to find one of the length, how are you going to find one of the length? So I'm just going to write here. Okay, I try not to like move the paper up and down because like you need the information. So I'm just going to do the working inside here as much as I can without making it into such a clumsy working. Okay. Now, so I'm going to write BE will be equivalent to, now there's this thing called square root. Square root 144. If you square root 144, if you throw inside calculator, you put square root 144, or you just put 144 then square root, right? You're going to get this answer, which is called 12. What does square root do? Square root will give you one number, which if it multiplies by itself, it will get back 144. Meaning that 12 times 12 will give me 144. So if you square root 144, you're trying to get a number which multiplies by itself will give you 144. This tells me that this one is 12 cm. If this is 12 cm, then this must be 12 cm, correct? Now, since this is a square and then they told us that Z is the center, right? So these two lengths are the same, correct? So if this is 12 and these two lengths are the same, you just take 12 divided by 2, this one will be 6. And if this one is 6, isn't it 6 as well? So I'm going to cancel here, this is 6. If this is 6 and it told us that the breadth is 1/3 of the length, isn't this 3 times 6? So this will give us 18. Okay, so done. Radius of circle Y. What's the radius of circle Y? Now we have the diameter of circle Y, right? So if I want to find the radius of circle Y, it will just be 6 divided by 2, giving us 3 cm. Okay, why? Because 1 diameter is equal to 2 radius and 6 is the diameter. Therefore, 1 radius will be half of 6, which is 3 cm. Okay, so now we already got this. Moving on to the next portion. They are asking us to find the total area of the unshaded parts in the figure. It's not that difficult. Let's try to logic this through. They said they wanted the unshaded part, right? In order to find the unshaded part, let's talk about the square first. Isn't the unshaded part just half of the square? Okay, wrong, sorry. This one I saw it as one square, not a quadrant. Now, to find the unshaded part, right? I don't want to find this and this and this and this and add up together. I just want to find one square, okay, and find this quadrant. So I'm going to call this the square, and this one is the big quadrant. Okay, after that, I'm going to find the area of this circle. Okay, then after I get all the shaded part, I will get the entire thing over here minus all the shaded part. This is one of the ways to do it. There are many ways to do it. You can either find everything then minus the shaded part, okay, or just go straight ahead and start finding the unshaded portion. I choose to do the first method. Okay, both methods are perfectly fine. Now, so I'm on a quest right now to find all the shaded portion. First, I want to find the circle. This will be the easiest. So I'm going to put area of circle over here. So over here, area of circle, remember, always write down the formula to remind yourself, will be pi times r times r. And what is our pi? Given to be 3.15. So I'm going to write 3.14. So 3.14 multiplied by radius, we found it already, right? So over here. So it's times 3 times 3. And that will give us 3.14 multiplied by 3 times 3. That will give me 28.26. Okay, so this is quite simple. Now let's move on to the square over here. This square over here is merely 1/4 of the entire square. And they mentioned the entire square is 144, right? So I'm going to put area of the square. It will just be 144 divided by 4. Okay, so 144 divided by 4, what will that give us? That will give us 36. Okay, now I'm going to find this quadrant. So I'm just going to draw this quadrant. Okay, now this quadrant, you always go and put 1/4 first, multiply by the area of the circle, because a quadrant is a quarter of a circle. Now, so it's 1/4 multiplied by pi times r. So what will that give us? 1/4 multiplied by 3.14 multiplied by the radius. Since the diameter of this circle is 12, the radius will just be half of it, which will be 6. So this is the radius of the quadrant. So is times 6 times 6. So let's just throw that inside calculator. 3.14 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 6, then multiply by 1/4. That will give us 28.26. Okay, so we have 3 shaded parts right now. Now, shall we find the entire thing? So this one is given to be 144. There's actually no need to find this. Let's just find the area of this rectangle. So area of rectangle, I'm just going to draw like this. Okay, now it's given to be 6, and this one is to be 18. So therefore, it's just 6 multiplied by 18, and that will give us 108. Let's add them up together. Total area of square plus rectangle, that will be 108 plus 144. And that will give us 252. Okay, now this is going to be the simple part. Because we have everything, okay, we just need to take everything and subtract the shaded portion, and we will be able to get the unshaded part. So I'm just going to write answer would be 108 plus 252. Okay, this will be everything, minus my circle, which will be 28.26. Then I'm going to minus again my square, which is 36. Then minus my quadrant, which is again 28.26. And what will that give us? So let's just throw that in. 108 plus 252 minus 28.26 minus 36 minus 28.26, and that would give us 267.48 cm squared. Ta-da, done. Okay, so again, if you're a parent watching this, right, so remember how just now I will always explain how I'm going to do it, because basically I'm trying to come up with a strategy first. Once I come up with a strategy, then I start doing every single thing. Okay, it's much better than if you just start finding out all this nonsense without having any direction to go. However, with that said, if you're a student going through the examination and you see this kind of question, but you don't really have any idea how to proceed, which means that you don't really have a strategy in mind, in that case, does not matter. If you have no strategy in mind, just go ahead and write down all the working. Okay, because eventually, even if you do not get the final answer, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of your working may net you the method mark. Okay, so instead of getting a plain 0, at least you attempt it. Maybe you get like maybe 2 out of 4 or 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. It's much better than getting 0. So if you're a perfectionist, try to get rid of that perfectionist mindset. The perfectionist mindset means that you need to know every single thing before you even start doing the question. Don't be such a person if you're unable to come up with a strategy. Just do all your working first. How you know? Maybe even your working may guide you to the correct answer in the end. It may inspire you to come up with a strategy to tackle the answer after you have all this information. Okay? So don't freak out every single time you see this kind of long question. It's not as scary as you think. Break them down. See, my workings are not very long either, so it's perfectly fine. Alright? If I can do it, you can do it too. Done.